There.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
You're welcome to be in here. You're more than welcome to be here for orientation. It's definitely a lot in the beginning, I will say. That's a good analogy. I've heard a fire hose before, like you're being sprayed with a fire hose. Not heard a spider web, but that's good. I like that one. All right, so we'll get started here in the next couple minutes. I'm just going to try and make sure that everyone's in person that's going to be in person. Anyone's online is already online, so give it a couple more minutes. But so far, aside from feeling overwhelmed, are we liking things? Are we feeling confident still? Do you have any questions that I may be able to answer right now? No? Hey, that's a win. Yay, awesome. This is my first time to be in an office environment as well. If that makes you feel any better. So not alone. So that's super exciting. Well, yay. And then feeling good? Okay. Yeah, just kind of get the ducks in a row. Yeah. But I'm glad that you guys are still feeling good. And you guys are still liking everything. I know it is overwhelming, but just kind of get over that first little hump, and then hopefully it's just smooth sailing for you. And we're here for you guys always. If you guys have any questions, especially as you guys are feeling overwhelmed, even if there's an email that you might have received, but you're like, okay, I've received a million emails and I lost it somewhere. I know you told me this, but can you just repeat that? I don't mind doing that. So feel free to email me if there's ever I didn't jump on the Facebook page yet. Could you send me that or anything like that? Can you remind me who my tea partner is? I'm happy to do that for you. So. Nope, no. So once you submit your paperwork to the office, we kind of talked about it a little bit. So once this paperwork has been submitted to the office, we'll put you into the system. Then from being put in the system, I'll send out your information to Scott Leroy. Scott Leroy is our third-party marketing consultant. You're going to find out a little bit more about them in a second. And they're going to set up your entire Keller Cloud system, so you'll have logins to Command, your new CRM, things like that. And they'll set up all that, your email address as well. And then at the same time, our broker is going to be sending out paperwork to MLS to get your affiliation set up, and to get you Canopy MLS access as well. But you should already have access because you've already been in the business for a little bit. So that shouldn't be too long. It'll just be a transfer process, which should be a little bit easier. So nothing too crazy. In terms of T partner and stuff, those are kind of the dominoes that fall once you've submitted your paperwork. So you'll just need to submit your paperwork, and then those will start to happen as a chain reaction. So we'll set all that stuff up for you as soon as you hit that button. So whenever, and I think that Jules was telling me that she was able to export everything for you from the CRM. So that's awesome. So whenever you are ready to submit, then we'll be able to take care of everything else for you. Yeah, definitely, definitely. hmm So we can't. I will say, you won't have any access to command until you've submitted your paperwork to us. So okay, you have not submitted your paperwork to us just yet. You filled it all out, but it just hasn't been sent over to the office just yet. So you'll there's an office, there's a green button at the bottom that says send to office. I can do that for you. It's just when we last spoke, you wanted to get everything out of the CRM first. So if you're ready to submit to the office now, then I can absolutely do that for you. And it's up to you. So so in terms of that, I would definitely talk to either Teresa or Abby, and I think you talked to Abby a little bit, or even Dave would be a good person to talk to, just because they obviously have. I'm not licensed, so for me to kind of give you advice on that aspect is I don't know if that would be the best. But either of them, they'll be able to tell you, okay, at this point, yes, I would just go ahead, let them know that you're leaving and that you're going to be changing firms. And then as soon as you submit, then we'll be sending off everything and getting everything taken care of for you. But if you want the status, like the confidence of asking somebody else and making sure this is a good time, then I would definitely talk to Abby or talk to Dave maybe. But just because I don't want to throw you the wrong thing. But I think you're officially at a good spot. I think you should be able to do that, but just confirm with them as well, just to make sure. But yeah. Of course. And you can talk to Lynn Davis as well, our MCA. She's right across the hall from my office if you have not spoken to her already. And I was going to say, exactly. She's also to the right of Abby. She's another really good person to talk to about stuff like that. So you're welcome to ask her as well. Whoever is most convenient to you or whoever you feel more comfortable asking, you're welcome to. And hopefully they'll be able to give you some insight as to what they think is the best plan. But yeah, we'll make sure that you're in a good spot. But so without further ado, we'll go ahead and start orientation. This is very saucy. But so orientation really, in truth, is going to be me showing you our Market Center webpage. So as opposed to Keller Williams as a whole, like KW Connect, hello, I'm going to be sharing with you KW Ballantyne's website. Just because it is specific to our Market Center, it does kind of break things down for you, show you the resources that you've got available as well. So if you're going onto our website, it's going to be kwbresources.com. If you have a laptop, you're welcome to follow along. If you'd rather just kind of watch, you're welcome to do that as well. Whatever works best for your learning style, there's really no wrong answer. But kwbresources.com is going to be the website that you will want to use. And I like to tell you guys that it's going to be your best friend, especially as you're navigating trainings and things like that, and you want to get signed up for things. This is going to be where you can, in short, this is where you can find the office calendar so you know what's going on every single day and what you can be a part of. So that's probably my favorite feature of it, mainly because I work so closely with the calendar, but it is nice to have that as well. There's several other things on here that I'm going to kind of briefly show you, just so you guys can get a little bit more familiar with what you've got accessible to you at all times. Because I feel like sometimes when you look at a website, it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on. But if you dig a little deeper, there's a little bit more going on. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is this new agent tab here. If you click on this new agent tab, it's going to break you into this separate tab here on the web page. And it just kind of shows you a lot of key things that are going to be helpful to you guys as new agents. The first one on this left-hand side here under Learn More, it's actually going to show you a quick checklist that does kind of break down the things that are involved in your onboarding process. So kind of what we were just referring to. It does show you a little bit of what we do ask for typically in your paperwork, a few of the additional things that we will ask of you. And then it kind of gives you an idea of what's next. Okay, so now I've submitted my paperwork. Who's going to reach out to me? What are we going to be talking about? When can I expect certain things to be happening? So this is a really great section to kind of break that down for you, just give you the rundown of the big things. And then at the very bottom here, so even if you are complete through your onboarding process, things you can do immediately is still relevant. So one of which is going to the website and just kind of messing around with the website, getting more familiar with it, comfortable with using it, which you guys are now kind of doing with me. The next is to check out the office training calendar, which is going to be listed. Like I said, there's what you will notice as we kind of navigate through here is there's several different ways to access the same information on the website. There's a very, very simple way to access the office training calendar, and that's usually the last part that I'll show, or the last little bit that I'll show you. But there are several ways to pull. So whatever's easiest and most convenient to you, there's definitely different avenues for you to do. But so checking out the office calendar, which we'll do in just a little bit. Also joining Ignite. So if you guys are not a part of Ignite yet, that's totally fine. If you have any interest in joining Ignite, it is really helpful in building that foundational element to your real estate career. We've got some experienced agents. I know you're actually already involved in Ignite, so that's awesome. If there's any sessions that you did miss, though, or any sessions, ladies, that you guys would like to be a part of, our next sessions will begin in July. So at the start of July, we'll go ahead and start, or we'll revamp our Ignite back up. Any sessions that you missed, you're welcome to do then, and then you'll still be considered a graduate. And then, ladies, again, anything that you would like to refresh on or be part of, you're welcome to join for that as well. And I'll start sending emails out about that in the very near future, just because we still have our May going on. So I like to make things a little less confusing. The next thing under here is joining our Facebook pages. So if you guys have not already joined our Facebook pages, we do have a couple that are very helpful. And I will actually show you the URLs and where to pull those in just a minute. But those are super helpful in terms of just getting you familiar with what's going on in the office, communicating with other agents, and just also you can even get connected with some of our vendor partners here as well really easily. So we will touch on the Facebook pages in just a little bit because it's a very, this day and age, an easy way to communicate for sure. The next is attending office meetings, one of which is orientation. So congratulations, guys. You've done one of them. Some of you have done more than one, so congratulations again. But just being present for office meetings, getting involved, being in the office, I feel like that's the quickest way for you guys to start to feel comfortable and confident and moving on and really involved in the office. So, yeah. So your T group, that's going to be your transaction group. So basically you have a partner that you're given. So if you were to have any questions about transactions, you would be able to speak to that person about them, or if you had any questions about a particular form. So typically, I wouldn't think that so Carla's your first step partner. Your first step partner is just as a new agent, new to KWB or new overall. They're just there to kind of keep tabs on you, check in on you, see how you're doing. So feel free to reach out to Carla if you've got some simplistic questions, things like that, or if she'll keep tabs on you as well to see how you're doing. But the T group partner is designed to be kind of one of those kind of mentor-esque roles. So I don't know how much you'd be needing one, but if you had any questions that were weird for a transaction, you're welcome to reach out to that person. Just want to give everyone a point of contact. The next thing at the very bottom here is registering your car with Warrington Preferred Parking. That's our office business park parking. It is free to you to do that. I always recommend if you're going to be here any more than a couple times a month, that's probably your safest bet, is just to go ahead and get registered. We do have some visitor spots available outside, but just in case, again, if you do plan to be here more than a few times a month, better safe than sorry. And then if and when you do roll and register your car with the Torrington Preferred Parking, what's going to happen is they're going to send a pass to this office. It will be delivered to our actual office in the mail room, which is my next segue into your mail folder. You guys all are given a mail folder as part of your onboarding. So any mail that you have directed to this office will be put in the mail folder, or in your mail folder. They're alphabetized, and they're in a small little room to the right of the front desk. There's a purple back wall to it, so it's hard to miss. And if you ever can't find it, Sue is happy to show you. But any mail that's been directed, your South Carolina license, should you get one, or your parking pass, or anything that you prefer to be sent here, that's where you can find it. Same with packages, a little bit bigger, but they'll be kind of organized, alphabetized on top of those shelves in there as well. So feel free to check out the mailroom and do check there if you did get a parking pass. Usually I would say to take a couple of weeks or so. I have been told before that there is a finite amount of physical passes. So if that's the case, it still doesn't hurt to register your car. So you may not get the actual pass be checking your mail folder, obviously, but you may not get a physical pass sent to you, but at least they will be aware of your car, your license plate, things like that. They'll know that you're part of this office. Because with 500 agents, I'm sure that they struggle just a little bit to have enough passes for everybody. On the right-hand side here, we're still under that new agent tab, but on the right-hand side here, if you were to click learn more, it'll take you to Scott Leroy's marketing page. They are, like I mentioned before, a third-party marketing consultant, and we partner very closely with them to help get your entire tech setup done. The really great thing about Scott Leroy is not only do they offer that as a service, but they do offer several other different services as well. If you guys are ever interested in making QR codes, they can do a free QR code for you. You just have to give them the link that you need it to generate to. They also have things on here as well, like live training. There is a training, I will say, from 1 to 2, Monday through Friday, always about different tech. When you do go to their training calendar, it will ask you for your market center number. If you guys don't know that already, it is 350, and you'll see that number kind of pop up a lot. But if you were to click on, if you were to enter using 350, it'll show you their entire training calendar similar to ours, and you'll be able to click right there and jump on the Zoom call, and they'll go through anything from command overview to Facebook ads to website designing. So they'll really kind of give you a wide berth of information. So please do check that out if you guys are ever curious and looking for some tech training. That's a really good avenue for you to go down. We do have several other resources as well that I'll touch on in a minute, but that's one of the quickest and easiest ones. And then they do also keep their recordings as well. So you'll just have to reach out to Scott Leroy, but they'll be able to give you recordings done. Under the next thing I was going to show you guys is under store. I will say, being a Keller Williams agent, if you guys are not already aware, we do not provide you business cards. But the really great thing is that through Scott Leroy, if you were to click on business cards, they do have pre-done templates for you, and they vary in whether your photo's on there, what kind of information's on there, but they're already pre-approved, done templates. All you'd have to do is insert your personal information, which makes it a little easier. You guys are welcome to go the route of Vistaprint or things like that. If you prefer, you may just want to get that design double-checked by our BIC to make sure that it's correct and that you've got everything you need on there. But these are pre-done and quick and simple. You can customize anything from the finish to the corners, all that good stuff, and their price points are really reasonable. I was able to get 500 for myself for $39. So pretty good price point as well. Definitely something to make note of. There's name tags, things like that available on here as well. So please check that out. And then the last thing, I did not need to actually just take that out of there. The last thing on here is, oh goodness, where'd it go? Actually, I think I talked about everything. Sorry about that, guys. The next little bit down here, again, going back to that new agent tab, scrolling a little bit further, these are those Facebook links that we had just talked about. The first one here is going to be internal for our office, agents, leadership, people like that are all going to be part of that group. So you guys can be a part of that, see what I will be posting, which is trainings and things that we've got coming up. You can register right there on the spot. I'll always post a link with it. The other thing is you'll be able to see the other successes of agents. You'll be able to encourage, welcome new agents. So you guys get to be really communal about that. And the really great thing about that too is because you guys are all connected so easily, all you'd have to do is drop an in search of and say what you're looking for, and 9 times out of 10 you'll have responses before the day is over of other agents giving you suggestions of vendors, or if they've got a listing coming up that might be appropriate for your buyer, things like that. So do feel free to jump on that page. I would say that's probably the biggest one you should be a part of because it does give you ideas as to market center updates, but also you can communicate with other agents and hopefully have a smoother process through transactions. You can also even ask them, hey, has anyone been in a situation like this? I've seen several people who said, has anyone done a transaction with Open Door? How was it? And then you get feedback from other agents right then and there. So it's really great to be able to communicate with everybody. This next Facebook page is the next one I'll talk about. The second one here is for our strategic alliance partners. Those are our vendor partners. So we have vendor partners here who've worked with us for several years. They've got glowing reviews from our agents, and they've done a lot for everybody in our office. So if you guys are looking for any vendor partners, it's as simple as going to this Facebook link. You'll have to ask to join the page, but Rob Conkle, myself, or Lynn Davis, we will be able to go in and accept you guys once we know that, yes, you're an agent here. But it allows you to get connected with all of those vendor partners really simply. And that's awesome just because not only can you jump straight on there and use a search feature and say plumber or electrician and see all of the vendors we have populate right then and there, but you guys are also able to be a part and see the communication between them because sometimes they're running fun events. Sometimes they're offering discounts and things like that. So just being a part of that will help you guys as well, and hopefully be able to help your buyers and your sellers. The next thing down here, we've got colorism. So if you guys are new to KW or new to real estate in general, you'll probably notice that there's some terminology here that is not really used anywhere else in the real world, and that's okay. But it can be a little confusing at first, and sometimes that just adds to the overwhelming, like, I don't know what's going on feeling. So if that ever happens and you're too shy to speak up and ask me about it, that's okay. You can click on this colorisms right here. It's actually going to take you to a quick little PDF, and it's just going to break down the terminology. It's going to tell you in real terms, in real world terms at least, what these mean. So if you guys are asking, okay, well, what's family reunion? Okay, well, what's command? What is a mega agent? What does an assistant MCA do? You guys can look at this right here, and it'll kind of break down everything for you. But never feel too shy to ask me, because I had the same question when I first started. So feel free to reach out to me if you have those questions, but you're also welcome to use that, whatever you prefer. Down here, just kind of touching base on Command. Command is our CRM here. It was built by KW for KW. Sometimes that means it can be a little bit hanky, and they understand that, which is great, because sometimes not only is there room for improvement, but also you come up with questions. You're not quite sure how to do certain things because it can be a little weird. In that case, there is answers.kw.com. There's a way to pull to it right here. Answers.kw.com is an entire webpage dedicated to frequently asked questions about command. So if you guys ever have that question at 3 in the morning, you're not sure who to call, and you're not sure if you're going to be heard, feel free to check out that website. You also can check out that website beforehand and try and build up your knowledge of command before using it, either or. But there is also a system website, or a sister website to answers.kw.com, and that's ideas.kw.com. And that website is entirely dedicated to your suggestions for how to improve command. You can say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. They do like to hear from just about everybody, because they want to get all the feedback they can to make sure it's user friendly, especially new agents. They really value your opinion because they want it to be hopefully a very seamless transition and very user friendly. So feel free to use either website as much as you'd like. They are helpful tools as well. For anybody interested in joining Ignite or looking to be part of Ignite if you're not already, this is a option for you to download materials. There's another way to download materials as well, but this is one way to do it. Down here, like I said, a connection to the training calendar. As I mentioned, there's much easier ways to pull to it, so I'm not going to necessarily take you there just yet. And then the last thing here is how to book a conference room. So we've got several conference rooms here on our floor, which is awesome for you guys. We do like to give you that resource available at all times. I think we have 6 or 7 conference rooms here, ranging from 4 people to about 10 people in terms of their capacity. So if you guys are ever interested in booking a conference room, do go ahead and check out this spreadsheet here. I'm not going to pull it up because it's going to make me log in and do all these crazy things. But once you go into book a conference room, it will break it down into basically like an Excel sheet, like a live Excel sheet. And it'll show you that all the breakdown of all the rooms, the capacity they hold, and it'll show you the time slots for the day. You can schedule for up to 3 hours, and you'll be able to see, okay, this room's booked by so-and-so. I can't use that one, but I can use it from this hour. I can use this other room. So it's a really great way to kind of visualize what's going on and to get yourself a private space for you to meet with clients, for you to meet with other agents, for you just to have some privacy. Maybe if you don't have an office here and it's way too loud one day, you're welcome to take a conference room. We just try to ask that you book them to make it as simple as possible, because sometimes, especially with COVID, we would have people kind of just hop in there because there's someone in the office, and then if somebody did have it booked, it could get confusing. So we just ask that you guys do take the time to book a conference room as best you can. If you do ever have difficulty booking one, you're welcome to reach out to me via email, because I am an admin on that page, and I can add you guys and make sure that everything's set up properly with your profile, so you shouldn't have any issues. All right, so up at the top here, I am just going to take us right back to that home page. That entire time, just to recap, we were under this new agent tab. But if you are to scroll a little bit further, you'll get to know our lovely leadership team, all these wonderful ladies, what their role is, and also a point of contact for them. So if you guys do have any questions, feel free to check out these points of contact, because we would be happy to answer questions. Everyone here is super friendly. We don't bite. We do want to help you guys. The next little bit down here under the Can't Miss Video of the Week, Julia Designs, which is actually the newest to join us here. They are a team of sisters. They are here to offer not only tech help for you guys and happy to troubleshoot, but they also do offer marketing concierge services. So they're happy to sit there with you for a private meeting and do a consult with you and help you guys to leverage out some of that responsibility. So if that's something that's of interest to you, they are happy to be the ones who help you with it. So do feel free to reach out to them if you've not met with them already. But as I mentioned, they do offer a can't miss video of the week, which is them usually just giving you a quick tip on how to do something or a more efficient way of doing something, or just explaining how you can go ahead and leverage certain things or go ahead and make a good Facebook ad. So do check out the can't miss video of the week. They also will drop it onto that first Facebook page that we talked about with the whole market center. So you really can kind of take advantage of it. If you were to keep scrolling down on our homepage, you will navigate to the office training calendar here. This office training calendar will break down everything, as I mentioned, that is going on in the market center. So if you were to click on today, for example, you can see that we do have orientation. You can also see that we have a South Carolina forums class coming up later. And you can see that there are 2 different T group meetings. And I'll kind of touch a little bit more on the T group meetings in just a minute. But you'll be able to kind of see the breakdown of everything there. And then you're welcome to, if you notice, this will actually, if you navigate a little further, this will go out months. So you can really get started and just kind of play around with the calendar alone for several minutes at a time. You can end up registering. You can register yourself for events 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. It doesn't have to be right then and there, but you're welcome to kind of play around and say, okay, well, what's going on in the second? Oh, we've got Quantum Week with Dick Dillingham coming on the second. So if that's something of interest to you, there's usually a brief description here to give you some insight as to what that is if you're not familiar already. But as you scroll a little bit further, there's also usually a registration link right there as well to make it nice and easy. So all you'd have to do is click on that registration link, and there you go. And all you'll do is just register right away. Yes, ma'am. So orientation is one of those you don't have to register for. It's kind of a little confusing. So I'm going to try and make it as not confusing as possible. Things like recurring meetings, like orientation, team meeting, forums classes, you don't need to register for those. If it's more of like a special event, like the CMA class we had the other day, or Jay White speaking on Monday, or Dick Dillingham doing Quantum Leap, we do ask that you register for that. Anything that you ever see also to kind of touch on that you see advertised as a lunch and learn, please do take the time to register for that. Usually our things are offered as hybrid experiences. So you'll see an Eventbrite link and a Zoom link. Eventbrite links are in person. Zoom links obviously are virtual. But if you see like lunch and learn, please register because it gives our vendor who is sponsoring the event a good idea of the head count. We never want you guys to be in a situation where we get a bunch of people super excited for the class and then not enough food, because that's never fun. So if you do see lunch and learn, please make sure that you especially take the time to register for something like that. Hi, Jay. And then the only other time that I would suggest, especially, there are going to be things that are put on the calendar that may be more regional events. Those typically will specify that they're regional events, and then they will also typically specify a price as well. But again, in-person registration usually, and we'll put those on the calendar. But 9 times out of 10, the things that you're looking at on this calendar are specific to our market center. But like I said, Quantum Leap is actually going to be one that's free, but we do ask that you register just because we want to make sure we have enough chairs put out. And we should be also trying to get a lunch sponsor for that as well. We're in the works on that. So please do check out the calendar. There is plenty on there that you guys can be part of. 9 times out of 10, again, you're going to come across things that are available to anybody. Obviously, certain things are going to be maybe a little bit more relevant to you. You don't have to come to everything, but anything that does seem of interest to you that you think is relevant for the situation you're in, or you think is going to benefit you down the line, please do come to it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with attending as many as you'd like. A little bit further. Oh, you're fine. Mm-hmm. So they will actually do calls during that time. They'll do a Zoom call, which actually we are revamping our T groups just a little bit at the start of June. So more details on that to follow. But for what we've got right now, your T group partner will meet with all of the agents within their group during these times. So we'll click on Connie's, for example. So Connie meets at 2 p.m. on Fridays. So if Connie is your T group partner, you're welcome to jump on the Zoom call. The link is right there, and that she'll take that time during the hour and a half that she's on. She'll explain certain things about forms. She'll be answering questions for you, things like that. So that's a guaranteed meet time. You're also welcome to reach out to them at any point, but that's a guaranteed like learn ahead type opportunity that you can be part of, and that's part of why they meet. When you guys get that email that does assign each of your T partners, it is usually just done kind of down the line. I'm trying to think of like the word, but like round robin type. So if there's ever a situation, okay, sometimes dual career, especially this just meeting time is not good for me. You're allowed to reach out right back to me and let me know that meeting time is not good for you, or reach out to your T group partner and tell them, and they can either try and coordinate something else with you, or I can easily reassign you to another partner that you think is going to work better for your schedule. That's part of also why we put these on here, so you guys can have an idea of what might work best. But the other great thing about our T group partners is if you guys ever can't meet at a certain time, you're welcome to reach out to somebody, or, oh, I can't reach Connie. I think she's during a closing. I can't reach Connie right now. You can reach out to anybody. So they're all super friendly. They want to help you guys succeed. They want to help answer your questions. So feel free to reach out to anybody. And if somebody's call is going to work better for you consistently, or maybe just once that week, maybe reach out to that agent to say, hey, I'm in so-and-so's T group, but this week I've got a closing scheduled. I won't be able to make that call. Is it possible for me to jump on yours instead? And I can almost guarantee they'll be fine with it. But they do kind of take that time to really explain some forms, transactions with you, and they are happy to answer any questions you might have right then and there. Same with forms class. Forms class is very similar. That is run by Sabra specifically, so our broker in charge. Our forms classes run every Thursday from 1 to 3. Right now, I think we're closing in a little closer to like 1 to 2:30-ish. But the forms classes are broken down: North Carolina listing, North Carolina buyer, South Carolina listing, South Carolina buyer, in that order. So the first Thursday you'll do North Carolina listing. The last Thursday of the month you'll be doing South Carolina buyer. But those forms classes, Sabra will go over those forms with you again, just kind of in detail and at length, and she'll be taking any questions about them. I know recently there's been some changes going on with South Carolina forms and things like that. So she took the opportunity to kind of explain what these new changes are going to look like. So do feel free to jump on the forms classes. I think that those are something of very serious value here. So please, if you've got any questions or you're any nerves or anything like that going into forms classes, go ahead and jump on those calls. Or going into transactions, jump on the forms calls. Scrolling a little bit further, though, under upcoming events, these are going to be, again, some of those events that we've got that recur on the calendar: monthly ALC meetings, team meetings, fixed form classes. And it just kind of gives you a little bit of insight as to a little bit more information about them, tells you when they will be. Again, these are things that do not require registration. Just kind of recap on that. So you're welcome to just come to a team meeting. Don't worry about registering for it. We do want to see everyone in the office. A little bit further down, this is Sabra. She is our wonderful broker in charge. As I mentioned, she is running our forms classes. Sabra's just phenomenal. She's always willing and eager to help you guys however she can. She's great about answering you guys. The other thing about Sabra, she has built up several different programs that we offer here, one being our T group partner. She's built that program from scratch. She's also built our first step partner program, which we've kind of touched a little bit on, but we'll kind of get a little bit closer to that in just a second as well and recap on that. This is our ALC. Our ALC is our Agent Leadership Council. These are agents within the top 20% of our market center. They've all gone and volunteered some of their time to serve as chairs or co-chairs on different committees here to make our market center a better place. That can be through diversity, equity. That can be through retention. That can be through technology. All these things and more. So on top of their booming businesses, these agents dedicate their time to trying to make the market center better. One of the great things about ALC is they do run different meetings, usually the first Tuesday or the first Wednesday of the month, and you can see that on the calendar. They will run different meeting times. You guys are welcome to come to any of those that interest you or that you'd like to provide feedback on. They do love to hear from you guys. They do want to meet with you guys. So do take the time to go ahead and jump on those. A lot of times they're in person. Sometimes they're on Zoom as well. But that way you guys can get involved right away, make a connection with one of those agents, but also give your feedback and hopefully see some changes in the market center that you'd like to see happen. But these all are really great people that are all here to, again, they would love to see you guys be successful. They're super great cheerleaders for you guys, very motivational. So if you guys see that any of them in the hallway, do give them a wave. They're super friendly people. And you're also welcome, always welcome to ask them a question as well. A little bit further, we do have our productivity coaches. So if you guys are in the coaching program, these are going to be some of the wonderful coaches in that program. Some of you have signed a productivity coaching contract through your onboarding, maybe in a little bit. But so these are going to be the wonderful coaches that we've got available here. You should be assigned a coach or have that conversation with Brandy Williams or her assistant Shanine, and then you'll get assigned a coach right away. These coaches are going to be here to help you guys with accountability, especially, and just to kind of be that driving force to push you guys in the right direction, get the ball rolling here. And they're just going to be really great at, this is your goal. Has your goal changed, or how are we going to see it come to fruition? So they're very great about just staying on top of things with you and making sure that you guys are being successful. Get a little bit further. And if you wanted to meet with anybody, you can schedule appointments right away and reach out to them. And if you need any contact information for anybody ever, just reach out to me and I'm happy to get it to you. A little bit further, talking about our T group partners. Again, this is a program that Sabre's kind of built up. These are our wonderful partners here. So just a little bit of information about the program. Here's who they are. And everybody's got a contact button there, so you're able to reach out to them if necessary. So if you don't know their contact, that's a really easy way to get to them. I think we've kind of touched base a little bit already about T group. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to answer them. But I'm just going to keep scrolling a little bit further. We do have our first set partners as well. Our first set partners, as I mentioned, are more designed for you guys as new to KWB or new in general to real estate. They are here to help you guys succeed, and they take that very seriously. So they do want to check in on you guys, see how you're doing. They're also going to be sending you a 30, 60, 90 ramp up usually. And that 30, 60, 90 ramp up is just designed to give you a very loose checklist of things you can be doing in the first 3 months. You don't have to follow it to a T, but it does give you an idea of things you can be doing right off the bat to start growing your business or to start getting involved in the market center. So please do kind of look at that. If you guys are ever feeling lost, it does help with a little bit of sense of clarity and direction. That's something that you guys can reference. And again, these individuals are great. They should be reaching out to you every now and then just to check in, but you guys are also more than welcome to reach out to them if you have any questions or have any clarity, what should I do next, things like that. So they'd be great people to talk to, one of which is actually Carla Kettler. She's our compliance coordinator, so she's on leadership as well. Scrolling a little bit further, these are all just really quick ways where you can click right there and get navigated to different websites. Not going to take too much time to focus on that. This next tab here under FAQs, frequently asked questions. I don't know who to talk to. Who do I talk to? If you've got questions about commission requests, if you hover over that tile, it'll actually tell you who to contact. Lynn Davis is going to be who you contact about that. And that's her email right there. So just if you have no idea who to talk to, this is kind of a general overview of different questions you might come across. Here's who you might be able to talk to about things. Just because even if your question is not exactly a commission request, it kind of gives you, again, some direction as to who you can reach out to. But above all else, if you ever absolutely do not know who to reach out to, I'm only one email away. No problem. Just under the FAQ tab right there. No problem. No problem. But all you have to do is just hover over the tile and it'll tell you who to talk to. But I am only one email away. So if you're ever really unsure, please do email me and I'm happy to get you either the answer right then and there, or I'm happy to put you in touch with who's got it. And the next tab I'm going to show you is on-demand training. It is password protected. So that password is going to be a capital B, a lowercase a, M, C, and the number 350. Nope, you're good. You're good. I was going to say usually it's up here. So let me just really quickly, I'll write it to make it easier. So it's a capital B, lowercase a, M, C, and the number 350. So that'll be the password to protect this tab and the next one that I'm going to briefly show you. But under, there we go. So under on-demand training, on this left-hand side, this is actually going to take you to our YouTube channel for the Market Center. So if there's ever a training, not again typically the special ones, just because they're not always offered in Zoom. But things like forms classes, things like team meetings, things like orientation, if you ever cannot make it because of your schedule, because of work, whatever's going on, please do feel free to navigate to this YouTube channel. I update it for almost weekly. And any of those recordings from orientation, compliance orientation, team meetings, Tech Tuesdays with Julia Designs, all of those are uploaded onto this YouTube channel. So that's a really quick and easy way for you guys to access that material. That way you guys can do it on your time and have that training. So this all predates back to the start of 2022. And the only reason I didn't go any further is because sometimes it's not relevant anymore with the constant changes. But yes, up to the start of 2022. So any of these that you're looking for, you guys can go back to that part. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close out of that real quick, just because I don't think we need to watch any right now. But on the right-hand side here under Command on Demand. Oh, you're fine. So you'll do on-demand training, this tab, and then that's when the password kicks in. So the right-hand side under, if you were to click on this on-demand button for Command on Demand, If you guys have questions, again, about command or tech, things like that, and maybe, again, 3 in the morning, or I don't want to bother anyone with this question, or I want to learn ahead. If you learn really well from tutorial style, like YouTubing things, this is a really great opportunity for you. This comes straight from Scott Leroy. They've got different videos here ranging from a couple minutes to about an hour even. So you can learn various content. You can learn about their actual marketing. You can get tech tips. You can get digital marketing tips, all these great things and more. Learn how to just navigate mykw.com. So if you guys are ever interested in doing that, this is a really great resource for you to check out as well, just to get a good grip on how to do things. The last little bit here is just a little blurb about Ignite. So if you've not done Ignite, you're interested in doing Ignite, I would recommend just kind of reading that, but that also will come into play when I email you about Ignite anyway, so I won't make you read it. The next tab here, though, our Office Resources tab, that is going to have the same password that we talked about. So it's going to be capital B, lowercase AMC, 350. When you are in there, this tab is actually kind of like Saber's probably favorite tab. On the left-hand side here under General Forms, if you click Get Forms, this is an entire this is a Google Drive folder that Saber set up that carries a lot of the different forms that you guys will encounter. This is not everything. Some of those are going to be available through DocuSign and zip forms and things like that. But this is going to be another really good stopping point for you to check for certain forms. We've got addendums, we've got septic and sewer, referrals, all the good stuff, and more W-9s are on here. So if you guys are ever looking for anything like that, you can check on this folder first. This left-hand side, so I'm not going to close out of this just yet, but this left-hand side here under General Forms, those are your North Carolina forms. So if you are South Carolina licensed or both, if you're looking for the same for South Carolina, you're going to go on this right-hand side here. So like I said, lots of great forms here and very accessible to you. So if you're ever looking for a particular one, couldn't find it, this would be my next recommendation for checking, but you're also more than welcome to close out of that real quick. Under this middle column here under Office Checklist, if you click on Get Checklist, these are checklists that, again, pertain to the transactions that you guys will be encountering. This was entirely designed and built up by Saber. She's made these checklists herself, which is just crazy to me, but she basically has broken down the step-by-step kind of process of the transactions just to give you a little bit more confidence and familiarity with what's going to be happening, because I know there's a lot of papers that come flying and all things, and oh my gosh, timestamps and all the good stuff. So if you click on North Carolina listing, for example, it'll break down a little bit more of what's going to be asked of you, what you need to get together, when you need to get together, who needs to have it, all the things. So these checklists are really great resources for you guys to have, especially when you're going through the first couple transactions. Maybe it's not memorized by heart yet. Feel free to use these checklists. She does put them there for a reason. She knows that they're helpful. You guys are also more than welcome to print them off here as well if you'd like. I always joke and say maybe don't let the client see the checklist, but use it as much as you need to. And I'm just going to go ahead and close out of that real quick. So that's, again, under that middle column. A little bit further down, again, all under this Office Resources. If you guys are curious into further education, you need to do post-licensing or you're looking to get another license in a different state, the CE Shop, we do have a dual branded website with them. If you click on Find Classes, they do offer discounts quite often. So if you guys are looking to do any continuing education, I would recommend definitely checking out the CE Shop because they're usually running different promotions. Right now, they're doing 25% off, and that's probably I've seen them go as high up as to 40% off. So definitely something to keep in mind. The CE Shop does offer a lot of great things as well. If you guys are curious in becoming a South Carolina license and you're not yet, if you've kind of dabbled with the idea of maybe doing self-paced, they do a free trial. So you can click on the free trial, and basically it'll give you like a week's worth of learning on that self-paced, no instructor, see if that's a good fit before they charge you for it. So if it's not a good fit, no worries. You can walk away from it. If it is a good fit, then you've already gotten that kind of taste of what it's like, and then you can go ahead and pay for it right then and there. But they do offer kind of different tools and things like that for your education, which is kind of neat, I think. The only other thing I would show you guys under here that I really want to touch on is Hot Topics. Under the Agent Essentials tab, I'll go ahead and show you real quick. The Agent Essentials, if you go to Hot Topics right there, they do actually share blogs, ebooks, podcasts, videos, all the good stuff and more. Different things that you guys can not only learn from yourselves and just kind of have entertaining content, but you can also share those on your social media. I've been told, again, not an agent, but I've been told one of the best things you can do is if you're using social media a lot is diversify your feed a little bit. Maybe don't make everything about what you've got coming up next and coming soon. But you guys can definitely look at these and use them and share them. I've seen ones that are talking about home staging, so that can be super interesting. I've also seen ones that are how to sell a haunted house. So there's different content. There's fun ones, there's more serious ones about what's going on in the market. But so anything that you would like to learn from or be entertained by and then go on to share, you're welcome to use. Just gonna go ahead and close out of that real quick. Did you have a question? No, it's okay. I was like, I heard you pause. Nope, no worries. So we're still under the Office Resources tab. Office Resources. And then right here where it says CE Shop, if you click on Find Classes, yep, and then they've got the Agent Essentials Hot Topics. I know it's a lot of steps. Thank you. I always tell people that like the best thing, because again, it's kind of like word vomit. I'm showing you so many things. So if you don't remember it, or one, email me. I'm happy to show you again. But two, the easiest thing, you can go on YouTube, you can rewatch it, or the last thing is just go home, sit down with your laptop, see if you can't play around and remember things. If you come across something, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't remember. I'm right here. I'm happy to show you. So that is going to be kind of the gist of the CE Shop, at least what I'm going to touch on, but there's so much more to each of these sites, so please do mess around with them. This right here is the Valentine floor plan. I have never needed it, and I work here. So I don't think you guys would have a reason to need it, but if you do, there it is. See. So maybe then it would be helpful. I haven't thought about it in the sense of being lost yet. I'll print it out for you and just kind of, you can put it in the front of your folder or something. It'll be good. See, okay, the bathroom's a different story because that's just like in a weird, I went the first week basically without going to the bathroom at work. Yeah, I was like, I don't know where it is. So finally, like second week, I said something to Sue and I was like, hey, weird question. I said, do you happen to know where this is? She was like, yeah. And she's like, have you really not had to go? I was like, oh no, I've had to go. I was like, but I've waited till I gotten home because I was like, it's not even worth it. Not like, I'm not even going to embarrass myself like that. So at the very last bit, again, under Office Resources, just some numbers to know. So if you're ever asked your firm license number, Canopy MLS ID, things like that, that's where you can find those numbers. Again, you're welcome to email me, Sabra, anybody if you're looking for them, but that's a quick stopping point that's got a lot of them covered. Under Office Resources at the very bottom. See, it's confusing. That's why I like to guide, like there's a whole class for it. And then the last thing under Office Resources, which if you scroll through it, you don't see it, and that's why I like to talk about it. If you just hover over the tab, it will say Advertising Guidelines is the first thing right there. So click on that. Again, it will ask you for the password, but it will take you straight to it, which is great. But if you guys are advertising and you're not sure what legally you have to have on things, you guys can check the advertising guidelines right there. Again, easiest thing to do is always confirm with Sabra. But if you guys have that hesitancy of I don't know, this is where you can find them right there. Make it as easy as I can for you. And then the next thing I was just going to touch on, this Office tab, Office Calendar tab. That's the easiest way to pull the Office Calendar. You just click it and it takes you right there. So same thing. We've already covered it, so I'm not going to talking about it again. It's just another way to get there. And then again, we're just going to kind of touch on the next two tabs. I'm not going to necessarily take you to any places. I think I'll take you to one. But Tech Resources, if you guys go under this, we've got a lot of amazing resources available to you yet again. Other ways to pull to the same things we talked about. There's how to, you can't miss video. We've got command. We've got tech trainings. We've got all the things, answers.kw.com. There's two things. One is the Tech Tuesdays calendar. So if you guys are interested in joining any of the Tech Tuesdays classes that Julia Designs offers, they do run from 1 to 3 on Tuesdays. Super helpful. This is a quick way to just get to their specific calendar. It's right there. The next thing, Marty Miller's for Teams. If you guys, again, very new to KW, very new as an agent in real estate as a whole, Marty Miller for Teams walks you step by step in how to complete your marketing profile. Like it's 5-minute videos that show you breaking it into chunks of how to set up different things on your marketing profile so that you guys can walk away and have like a fully set up website, fully set up everything. So they just break it down into little chunks. So it's every week you do like a little bit at a time. And it just kind of makes it easier. It's a 66-day challenge, I think is what it is. So I always highly recommend checking that out if you guys are curious about building that up and you want to do it at a reasonable pace, maybe not overwhelm yourself. That's a really good avenue to check out. It is built like tutorial style, so it's kind of helpful. Under the helpful links tab, again, it's just navigating the same things. We've got new associates. We've got a couple other things, colorism, scheduling a conference room. We do have a prayer request form. If you guys have anything ever going on in your personal lives, or maybe you know somebody who does, please feel free to fill out that form. It will be brought to us as leadership. You guys can specify even on there that you only want it to stay with leadership. Maybe you want more prayer power and you'd like us to say something to the Market Center about it. We are happy to do that for you, but we do consider you guys family and we want to make sure everything's going well for you. So please do let us know if there's anything ever going on, because we do want to be there for you in any way that we can. So that is something to touch on. Refer an agent form. Honestly, I'm going to go back through and probably take that off. If you guys ever work with somebody and you really like them and you think that they'd benefit from the opportunities here, or I know somebody who's currently in real estate school and I think they'd be really great fit for Valentine, just go ahead and shoot Abby or Teresa an email. They're really easy to reach, and that's the easiest way to just get them in contact with that agent, and they'd love to schedule a meeting just to see if they'd be interested in hanging out with us for a little longer. So again, don't even worry necessarily about filling out a form. You guys think of somebody, you really like them, just go ahead and shoot it over to Teresa or Abby, and they'd be happy to take care of that for you. The only thing I will click on is, again, just kind of in regards to our vendor partners. If you click on the strategic vendor partners, it will take you to a Google sheet. And that Google sheet breaks down, so maybe I'm not on the Facebook page, but here's everybody that we've got as a vendor partner broken down by their profession, who's the contact, what's their contact information, what are the services they offer, if they've got a website, things like that. So if you guys are looking for vendor partners, I know you're supposed to give like at least 3 for your clients to kind of investigate quotes and things like that for. So we've got several options here for you guys to reach out to and just get quotes from. So that's kind of the only touch I was going to do on that. It is updated frequently. And the very last thing I promise is under I need tech help. If you guys are in a panic, I don't know what to do, or I just really want to sit down with Jules and Leah and have a conversation about maybe what they can do for my business leverage wise, or maybe can you help me troubleshoot this problem? All you do is click on that button and it takes you right to their calendar, and you can schedule 30 minutes of time with them during their office hours. So that way you can confirm, yes, I will have an appointment with them. Yes, I know I meet. I think you actually just did that the other day. So it's super easy. It's as simple as just clicking what date you'd prefer and then selecting the time slot, and then you confirm, put your information, and boom, it's dropped right on their calendar. They know that they're going to be meeting with you, and they'll make sure that they've got time to work through any troubleshooting or any marketing consultants that they can do for you. Mm-hmm. I would think so. In order to schedule with them, you will need to go through, just because their calendar is going to be a separate entity, basically. But you would be, once you have your entire setup, your KW email is technically through Gmail. So you would be able to kind of keep all your real estate calendar and everything for KW in one place. I know. Isn't that such a relief to hear? So I guess in short, not that it really was short, I'm sure. This is everything that the website kind of has there. Again, there's more that we haven't really talked about. So do feel free to play around on it. That's going to be the easiest way to kind of reiterate what you've just learned. Again, because I did just word vomit all over you guys, and I apologize. It's just, there's really no other easy way to show you guys all the things on there. I know. So the easiest thing is just go back through when you guys have a moment and just kind of walk yourself through what we did. Go through our YouTube videos. Okay, yes, I remember this. No, I don't remember that. It'll kind of walk you through again, because I am sharing screen. So the whole recording is just going to be me navigating and you hearing me. But if there are any questions right now that I can take, I'd be happy to do it. I will say that if I don't know the answer, I will write it down right now, and I will make sure that I get you one before the end of the day. But if there's anything that screams out at you, I'm happy to answer it. But I know, again, sometimes when people word vomit, it's like I can't even think about a question. I don't even know where my thoughts are right now, and that's okay. That happens. It's probably more commonly than not what ends up happening at the end of class for me. I know. And that's the only thing, is it pulls and it pulls and it pulls. So I have to, that's why during class I'll be like, okay. And then I go on to the, so I kind of, you'll see me do it throughout, just because I know that it pulls another window, and I'm like, no, not doing it. But yes, it will pull a lot. So is there anything I can answer for you guys quickly? Or if you'd like, kind of go home, breathe, digest, and then shoot me an email. I'm happy to answer from there. Oh, really? Yay! That makes me feel great. This is the only market center I've ever kind of been a part of in any way, and first real estate place ever. So I feel really good about it. But to hear that, that's a whole different testimonial. So that's awesome. Yeah. Yay, that's awesome. And then, of course, if there's ever, okay, either one, I don't have time to sort through all this. I don't know where to find it on my own. Shoot me an email, shoot whoever you know an email. Or there's also the, if it's not there, which I would hope that's not the case given all of the stuff that's on there. But if there's ever not something on there and you realize that, just shoot me an email and I'll get you connected right then and there with who you need to talk to if it's not me. So with that being said, guys, you have passed orientation. Congratulations. It wasn't a pass fail, but you guys did great anyways. I appreciate the engagement and the questions. Sometimes I do have people who just kind of sit through and no, I don't have any questions. I'm like, how do you not have a single question? I'm like, you got to have like some kind of question. See? See? No problem. Mm-hmm. So to schedule with them for the consult, that's free. The consult is free to sit with them and troubleshoot. From there, if you are interested in their concierge services, then when you guys are having that consult, that's when they do, I believe, build up a social media like marketing plan for you for free. I could be misstating that, but I believe it's for free to do that. And then from there, it's, do you want our services in doing that? Because then that's a different conversation and maybe there's prices attached to that. But they're great. They're absolutely great. And their prices, I believe, are very reasonable. So do feel free. Their office is right over by Lynn and Leadership Row. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It should still be totally free to schedule with them. Totally free to schedule with them. It's just if you choose to go on and ask for their services and things, then that's when the cost will factor in. But it's free to schedule with them. And I think the only thing is they ask usually. I think they might have like changed it where it's like they prefer that you meet once, maybe twice a week at most, like to leave the spots open for anybody else. But other than that, there's really no stipulations for scheduling with them. They're really great and they're super friendly and super helpful. So do feel free to use them as much as you'd like, outside of not more than 2 times a week. Just kidding. But yeah, I guess that is really kind of the gist of orientation. That's my word vomit for the day and everything that you've received from the website. So do feel free to take that home, digest it, and then go from there. And like I said, I'm only an email or phone call away. So if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. Yeah, go for it. I was gonna say if you can't figure it out, I can easily do it on my end. Okay, then just let me know and then I'll go through on my end and I'll do it for you. Yeah, no worries. I was gonna say I would suggest if you can find the original Macromoda's email, go click that link and it should direct you right back. It might make you log in, but then you should just be able, it's in the paperwork, the very bottom center of the screen, you'll just hit the send to office. And that's all you need to do to submit. So you would have already done that, Jennifer, and Ismail, you already did. So perfect. Mm-hmm. And then at the very bottom in the center, once you've opened the paperwork up, it'll say send to office and a green button. And then you just click it. And then I've got it. Done. You did it. Congratulations. Yay! One step closer. The spreadsheet. So if you are this homepage, we'll go under the helpful links and under right here, strategic vendor partners, and it'll take you right there. Ta-da. Yep, absolutely. So without further ado, guys, again, I'm right here if you need anything, but other than that, you guys are free. You can have your day back. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try to give your day back. But I do have, and this is entirely up to you, if you guys have any questions about title insurance, normally on the second orientation of the month, I do have Carla Campbell with Heritage Title come on towards the end. She's actually out sick. She's not able to. So if you guys have any questions about what title insurance is or who you can contact about it, I do have materials from her in my office, like a nice little folder. So if you guys are interested in that, raise a hand. I'll get you one. 1, 2, perfect. I'll get you guys that, and I can always get you another at a different time. So I'll go ahead and grab 2 of those, and I'll bring them in here for you guys. And I'll be right back, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and close out of this Zoom call. You guys are more than welcome to stay put. I will be right back with folders. And if you come up with any questions in the meantime, I'll be right back. No problem.